Assalamualaikum and hi to the viewers. I am Siti Nurhani Muhammad Noor, a semester 6 student of Bachelor of Information Science Library Management from UiTM Rambau campus, and I am here to talk about digital divide. To start off, digital divide can be defined as an inequality or gap in access to the internet and use of technology. This includes the ability to understand, access, and effectively use technology. The noticeable difference between two groups of people in digital divide is that one knows how to manipulate technology to the most, while the other doesn't. Now, let's talk on how to identify digital divide. We can categorize digital divide into three types, which includes, first, the universal access that refers to the possibilities to access technology, resources, or the internet itself. Secondly is the use of skills where one's ability to handle and maneuver their ways in manipulating internet and technology to the fullest. And lastly, the quality of information and knowledge obtained through their ways around the internet. Now, there are many factors that can attribute to digital divide. We'll start with geographical restrictions, where less economically developed countries lack the necessary infrastructure and investment to digitization. The socio-economic differences cause digital divide between countries and regions, especially between urban and rural zones, in accessing high-speed internet connection and making use of technological devices to the fullest. It is a rarity for emerging economy communities to own a mobile device that works very well, considering the lack of access to network connectivity, financial, and the desperate needs for mobile phones in their community. For example, if you live in the city, this video may play smoothly through your devices, while geographically affected users may experience this video like that. So, the next part is we shall include digital literacy, which is the ability and skills needed to access information through technology efficiently. Younger age exposure to technology may lead to better utilization of technology. We must oppose education institutions that practice digital literacy through information communication technology (ICT) in schools. Illiteracy in managing technology and digital devices can cause ineffective reach to quality information. To illustrate, one may access the latest news through e-newspapers, e-journals, applications by their mobile devices, while the others have to take time in browsing physical publications manually. On top of that is the interest and motivation to learn and make use of technology. Some people, they have the necessities to access the internet and technology. This includes mobile phones, fast internet reach, and many other devices that allows them to connect faster to the internet. However, they lack interest in making use of them to the fullest. These individuals usually did not keep up with technology trends and updates on devices and activities on the internet. Situations where instead of actively trying to learn new skills or improve current skills, users opted in Googling things to solve current problems instead. Consequently, the aftermath of digital divide will cause isolation among communities considering the lack of communication and disconnections of internet access. People in remote areas especially are hugely affected, and this will cause a negative gap between them and urban areas. As a result, another issue will arise, which are the accentuation of social differences. Considering the rise of information technological society, digital illiteracy will negatively impact quality employment, which will not help the economy for rural areas. Another concern worth noting is the visible barrier to studies and knowledge. I shall illustrate our current situation and the pandemic that forces Malaysian education institutions to practice distance learning. Lack of sufficient technology devices, connectivity, and digital skills negatively affect studies and education for educators, teachers, and students themselves. Digital divide in studies is when, despite of being in the same class, a student attends them with laptops and high-speed internet, while another is forced to share a mobile phone with 5 other siblings in school to find internet connection at a roadside for the same access to knowledge. The aftershocks to digital divide may be disheartening, especially knowing that individuals who are subjected belongs to the weakest sections of population, particularly the individuals who are threatened by digital divide includes the elderly, the unemployed, immigrants with linguistic and cultural barrier, physically or mentally impaired people, inmate, and poorly educated individuals. This is due to their access to the technology and digital devices are being buried. So, how can we stop them? That is the big question. To overcome the gap and digital divide, the community, we can play a part in empowering digital literacy among societies, increase affordability to the internet, network connections, and technological devices. We must create universal access to digital networks, such as creating digital centers in rural areas, if we may, and also develop digital curriculum and interest in digital literacy that suits the rural areas needs and also urban areas needs. Summing up my conclusion for today is that the presence of digital divide is rather transparent nowadays, considering the circumstances of the current pandemic. This should push us further in realizing the severity of digital divide in our country and what is our contribution to bridge the gap. I hope this video helps in empowering the viewers in playing even the smallest part in minimizing the digital gap in our country. All things considered, I wish you have a good day, stay healthy, and wear a mask. Thank you for watching. Siti Nurhanim signing out.